How is everybody doing? So, I don't know about you, but sometimes I read posts, and I get like very obsessive about it. And there was a post in my Facebook community, Breaking Up with Sugar. If you're not a part of it, please come join us. It's like literally incredible. That somebody, and I've been hearing this a lot, like in my individual sessions. I've been hearing this like a lot, a lot these days. And it's this really unfortunate and kind of not useful way. Hey, Carrie, this way that we often think about our relationship with food and weight. And so this person says this. She says, "Listen, I know I have this problem, and I really want to fix it, and I've gotten the books, and I've watched the videos and all of the things, and I just can't seem to get started. Why can't I just do this? Why can't I just do this?" And so, like, we need to talk about this, because first and foremost, why can't I just do this? Well, first of all, it's like inherently shameful. And I can tell you something. If somebody was saying that to me, if somebody was saying to me, like, "Molly, why can't you just do this?" I'd be like, shove that where the sun don't shine. Like, it would not be a motivating thing for me to actually make any level of positive change in my life. So, first thing I want to say is, like, I actually like really understand where that confusion comes from. Like, believe you me, I really understand. It's like, gosh, I want this thing so badly and I can't seem to do it. And I'm really confused. Oh, thank you, Andrea. I'm like really confused, and like I don't get it, and I feel hopeless. But here's the problem. Nothing changes, nothing changes. And the thing is, this like, why can't I do this? I don't think we're intending to shame ourselves. Hi, Siobhan. I don't think we're like intending to shame ourselves. I don't think we're like intending to try to like stay stuck in our habits. But the problem is number one, why is a crooked letter? I'm a behaviorist. It's like, getting to the bottom of why we're not doing something is like, it's a very long process. Sometimes when we figure it out, it's not helpful, or it makes us more stuck. And the problem really here is that our brain wants pleasure. Like, our brain wants to like enjoy itself. You know what I mean? Like, we want to be enjoying ourselves. And so it's like, when we're sitting here in this kind of shaming place, like, and I'm like, listen, guys, this ain't the first time we've been in this place, right? This ain't the first time that we've been like, oh, here, I did it again. I did it. Why can't I just do this? Like, it's very self-fulfilling. And I want you to see that. Like, there's comfort in this place where we're like, see, I can't do it. I always remember there's this Muppet. I love the Muppets. I don't know if anyone else loves the Muppets. There's this Muppet named Don Music. Okay. And so Don Music is always like on Sesame Street, and he's always like playing the piano, and he's like, "Mary had a little," and then he like misses a key, and he always does this thing, and he goes, "Oh, I'm never gonna get it." And man, like, I relate to that from my own story, like from my own history. It's like one failure after the next failure, after the next failure, after the next failure. And I was like, I am never going to get this. And inherently, when we're saying that to ourselves, when we're saying, why can't I just get this? Like, we're sort of saying, I can't get this. We don't mean to. We don't intend to. That's why I'm here. I'm your bestie. I'm your coach. I want us to change this narrative. Yesterday, I want us to get in a DeLorean and change this narrative. But I think this is the kind of thought that needs to go into the word graveyard. Why can't I get this does nothing but keep us stuck. I know it's not our intention. But what if I said to you, well, here's why you can't get this? I mean, truth be told, one of the reasons that you think you can't get this is because you think you can't get this. And listen, my loves, if you can believe it, this is a protective mechanism, because that diet drama and that diet trauma has put us in such perfectionistic state, and has put us in such a like fear of like being rejected by another diet. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I wrote Breaking Up with Sugar, and I dedicated it to you because I think anybody who's trying again is just basically the most amazing person I've ever met in my entire life. But the problem is that your relationship with food is imperfect. Like there is no possible way that you can have a perfect relationship with food. Well, by the way, there's no possible way you can have a perfect relationship with anything, but diet culture's really brainwashed us to believe that, if we start and we don't do it perfectly, then there's something wrong with us. I'll tell you this till the day I die. It's not you, it's the diet. I promise you that. That's why we have to move from diet to relationship. And spoiler alert, I'm doing a whole solo podcast on what you're craving about that. So mark your calendars. I don't know when it is, but stay tuned. So listen, we got to shift the whole thing. The first thing we have to do is just sort of radically accept the idea that we're going to be doing this imperfectly, right? Because to me, if I have this idea of I'm going to screw it up again, why can't I do this? Inherently in it says, I'm not going to do it perfectly. I'm going to screw up again. It's all the diet drama and trauma coming to the surface, it's all the diet drama and trauma coming to the surface. Literally, the second chapter in Breaking Up with Sugar says this to you. Before I even talk about sugar or food, it literally says, hey, stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay in this relationship no matter what. By the way, if you listen to my podcast with Annie Grace, who I love more than life, the greatest lessons I've ever learned in my relationship with food have come from missteps. Period, exclamation point. It's where I've learned the most about myself. And I'll tell you, people who are successful will say the same exact thing. So you have to sort of say, one of the reasons you can't do this is because of your perfectionistic mindset. It's because you're accidentally living in the diet drama and trauma that says you have to do this perfectly. What if you committed so that you're not going to do it perfectly, but you're going to try your darndest and you're never, ever, 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 ever going to give up on yourself? It's going to wax, it's going to wane, it's going to look different. You know how it goes. But this idea of why can't I do this is so self-shaming. You are more powerful than you even understand. You can do anything. You certainly can go throw the M&Ms out of your house. Maybe you'll buy them again. I don't know, but certainly you got to radically, it's right, Sean, you got to radically accept that you're going to do it imperfectly. Because when you can radically accept that you're going to do it imperfectly, you can actually bring your whole self in and do your best. When we're walking in, say, why can't I do this? It's so in its guts. It's saying, I'm not enough. I'm a failure. I'm going to screw it up. So that's the first step. You got to understand how incredibly shaming and unmotivating. That is not a thought that is going to get you closer to action. And we want action. We want freedom. I want you guys to all have this incredible relationship with food that you deserve, because with an incredible relationship with food, guess what else you get? An incredible relationship with yourself. Win, 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 win. That's what I'm saying. Number two, this is what I really want you to work on. Okay. Here's your homework. Here's your homework. I'm taking 2 weeks off starting tomorrow, but I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about this more. Here's a real piece of homework. Can we not focus on why you're not doing this, but instead, can we focus on why you want to do this? Why this might be a great and wonderful and groundbreaking and heart-opening and life-affirming choice for you? Can you do nothing except think about that? Seriously, who cares that you haven't picked up the book? Who cares? If you did nothing but exclusively think about all of the reasons, you did nothing but think about all of the reasons that you want this. You literally did nothing but that. What do you think your motivation level would look like? What do you think? Do you think you might take a step? Do you think you might take a leap of faith? Do you think that things might change? If you stopped thinking about why you can't do this, why you're not doing this, why this is going to be so hard, these are thoughts that our brain is created to protect. Your brain's trying to protect you from rejection. Your brain's trying to protect you from pain. But it's only if we decide that rejection is pain. I don't even know. We have to change all of that language. The thing about your relationship with food, the thing about all of your relationships is they're imperfect. So the first reframe you have to have is the idea that it's imperfect. And the second reframe, oh, thank you. The second reframe that you have to have is that we want to be focusing on the positive. We want to be focusing on the why. We want to be focusing on how this is going to benefit us, because that's the reason we're going to make a decision, right? The pleasure of breaking up with sugar, the pleasure of getting into a healthy relationship with food needs to be greater than the pleasure of staying in this unhealthy relationship with food. And so if we're looking at it from a shaming, self-harming, beating the crap of ourselves perspective, which is, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? Oh, could you do me a favor? Like, my birthday's August 30th. Give me for my birthday that you're never going to say that to yourself again, because we're not going to figure it out. Why can't I do this has got to go. Why do I want to do this has to come in. Why do I want to do this? What are all the reasons that I want to do this? Well, I don't want to be obsessing about food anymore. I want to have peace. I want to have a bigger life. I don't want to be constantly bogged down by obsession. I mean, there's so many reasons. Like, it's endless. And if we're just focused on that, everything can change. It's true. Focus on the negative. And it's a little cheesy, but it's true. Like, when you're focused on the negative gets bigger. And of course, it's like a wonderfully thoughtful idea, right? It's like a wonderful thoughtful idea. Why can't I do this? It's just not useful. And it really keeps you stuck. It's really a function of diet drama and trauma. So instead of, why can't I do this? Bye. See you later, alligator. It comes in, say, oh my God, thank you so much for showing up. Why can't you do that? Why can't I do this? I'm going to switch you up. And I'm going to switch you from why can't I do this to why do I want to do this? And let me tell you something else. Change might not happen in that exact moment. Like, chill. It's coming. All is coming. Just give yourself a minute. Don't underestimate I'm not kidding. When I use the phrase diet drama and trauma, like, it really is really like cute and catchy, but I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, it's legit. Okay. So give yourself a minute, like, let yourself think about it, and don't think of really, like, when we talk about the why, like, the research on the why is that, like, a pant size is not a great why, right? Because it's an external reason, right? It's an external reason. You want to think of internal reasons, the ones that touch your heart, right? Ones that touch your heart, like less risk of heart disease, like freedom in my mind, right? Like, finally getting into, like, freedom from all of these years, whatever. I don't know what yours are going to be. I mean, I'm very interested in what your whys are going to be. And there's lots of you that are seeing that this is like a very possible way to live, which I think that's amazing. Like, if we do nothing else but just get rid of the diet drama and trauma and just start to understand, we usually can't do it because we're scared. And if we have, and if you're scared and you're scared of rejection, you're never going to be able to do this, right? And you're scared you're going to fail at it. Like, we have to redefine what failure means. There's no failure in relationships. It just can't work like that. So yes, I love this. Someone's saying on Instagram, like, my why is for my daughter. That's a great why. But I really, the other thing you need to bring with you to the party, if you're having a hard time motivating to create change, especially when it comes to your relationship with food, it may be, the culprit may be here, that you're demanding too much perfectionism, right? That you're saying, well, unless I do it perfectly, there's no reason I should start. That's some crazy stuff. It's never going to be perfect. There's an idea in harm reduction, and I mean, it's not harm reduction everywhere, but like, it's like, something is always better than nothing, and something always leads you to more, right? Like, when I talk to people about morning routine, I'm like, can you give me 1 minute? I had a client, right? She said, I can give you 4 minutes for my morning routine. I said, great. She's like, at 11 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, something is always better than nothing. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter. Like, diet culture is like, well, you have to buy the book, and you need the measuring cups, and you need the this, and you need the start. It's like, just start somewhere. Start somewhere so that you can prove to yourself that you can go further. Something is always better than nothing, and something always leads to more. I pinky swear you on that. So listen, I'm going to leave you with that. And please, 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 please subscribe to What You're Craving. We have some amazing people coming on, including the author of Intuitive Eating, including the author of Hooked, the book on big food. I mean, so many exciting people. So link in bio. everywhere. And Coaching with Molly is coming up on June 3rd. Go to mollycarmel.com. Come coach with me. We have an hour together. It's so amazing. It's literally like soul healing. Like, at least I feel that way. I feel that way at the end, and I'm like working on it. So love you. Thank you so much for the feedback on the podcast, Carrie. I love it. I love all of your feedback. Leave me a note, leave me a love note, leave me a question. Next Instagram Live will be when I'm back from my vacation in 2 Thursdays, but sometimes I get on anyway. But I love you all. And let's try to do this. No more, why can't I do it? Into the word graveyard. Bye. Into the word graveyard. Bye. See you later. Oh, I love you too. Bye, guys. Mwah.